Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DeChara coming to you live once again from downtown Flushing. That's right. I'm in the eye of the storm, the eye of the pandemic. I've been here for ever since they said it was the eye of the pandemic. And, good news, the last couple of days, I do see people out and about. I don't know actually if that's a good thing. I hope there's no blowback on that, but people are starting to come out of their places. Businesses are starting to open. So, a lot of people ask me what it's like being here, and it's actually been like a science fiction movie. So hopefully, the worst is behind us, so that's good news. And if you don't know who I am or what this is all about, my name is Joe DiChara. The name of my show is How You Can Win Big at Business. And we start off by monetizing. That's what I'm all about. That's not really what the show is all about. It's not all about just monetizing your business, but that's my superpower. That's what I love helping people achieve, because if you don't have any revenue, you don't have a business, and that's a fact. So people that like what I say, if what I say resonates with you, I'd love to connect with you. All you have to do is go to timewithjoe.com. I got the little banner thing going, and I got to tell you, I am in love with StreamYard, because I could do stuff like this, Mastermind with Joe, how you can win a business. I mean, this is amazing technology. And if you're not leveraging this kind of stuff, if you don't have your own tribe by now, if you don't have a Facebook group or whatever it is, you really need to talk and connect with Haley Gray. She owns When, and I'm broadcasting live there thanks to her, and in my group and on YouTube, and that's what you're able to do with this technology. It's mind-boggling. And for younger folks, maybe I'm getting older, but for younger people, you might take this stuff for granted. But to connect with people, even 20 years ago, you actually had to go somewhere where you had to, call them on the phone. There was no way to instantly connect with people all over the world. I actually have a client in Tokyo that connected with me through Facebook, through these Facebook Lives, really. So, what Haley's doing right now is she's actually been teaching people her tricks of the trade, how she got to 66,000 Facebook members, because it didn't happen overnight. And she's been teaching us all of the little nuances, the things that you can do, the things that you can't do. It's still going on. I'm gonna post a link to it, because she's still accepting members into the group. So and there's 2 more days left of training, and the last 2 days I know are going to be amazing, because she's going to be talking about things like fixing a Facebook group. And the most interesting thing, I think, is going to be when she tells us all the things she wished she didn't do, which is one of the benefits of listening and learning from somebody like Haley is she made all the mistakes that we don't have to make. and she's a great teacher. She keeps everything nice and simple, and most importantly, doable. Because let's face it, folks, if you don't break things down to the lowest common denominator sometimes, people get discouraged. They'll just say, this is too complicated. So my life and my business is already complicated. Well, no. What Haley did for me on the marketing and social media platform, she made it really, really simple. And simple usually works. So I got it down to a few simple things that I do, like these Facebook Lives. She got me doing them. Posting, engaging with people. Even putting up my own graphics. I mean, she showed me how to do it, and it was so easy. Uh, it's hard to believe. So if you're a newbie, or what I consider a newbie, somebody that isn't as old as me, don't take this stuff for granted. And if you are as old as me or older, don't get intimidated by it. You can learn it. All of this technology is learnable. It's we've come to the point with technology where it's almost like everything's almost drag and drop, push a button. If you know how to spell and talk, you can do this. Because I'll tell you the truth, 2 years ago, a year ago, I was terrified of doing this sort of stuff. And, little by slowly, thanks to people like Haley and a bunch of other people, this is a piece of cake now. And and a lot of times I don't, I am a CPA, 35 years in the business. I've worked with thousands of business owners. I've seen and done a lot of things in accounting and in business. But it seems like most of the time, I don't talk about taxes and accounting on my Facebook Lives. And maybe because it's just that I think people don't care, or, I don't know what the reason is. But the fact is that it's important. It's important to know the fundamentals of business. And a few nights ago, I did a Facebook Live on how to write off your home, because that's important. Most of us work from home now. And if you didn't work from home before, you might be working from home now a lot. And if you have a business, you should know how to write off your house. And hopefully I did what Haley does with marketing and with Facebook groups, is I made it simple for you. I showed, why you should do it, how you should do it, more importantly, how you can get in trouble if you don't do it right. And I want to continue with the accounting and bookkeeping, information, education stuff, because I am sort of an expert at it. I have, set up thousands of accounting systems. Haley says she fixes broken marketing. Well, I fix broken bookkeeping. And one of the ways that I've learned to do it is with this amazing program called Wave Apps. And this is at the core fundamental basics about when you run a business. If you've ever heard the term, you got to know your numbers. Well, it's impossible to know your numbers if they're not in the right order, if they're not in the right sequence, if your chart of accounts isn't set up. Bookkeeping is very, very simple when you break it down. There's really only like 5 different things that you got to know, including the date, who you're paying or who you're getting paid from, what it's for. I mean, this is all basic stuff. But I think what happens is people get overwhelmed with the sheer volume. But like I said, one of my superpowers is making things simple. I could show you in simple ways how to do it. And what I'm going to show you tonight, it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 transactions a month or 10. This is going to work. And what Wave Apps does, really, it's like a lower version of QuickBooks. Everybody loves, knows, or hates QuickBooks, but everybody knows about Intuit and QuickBooks. For me and a lot of accountants, QuickBooks has always been like killing a fly with a sledgehammer. There's too much stuff in it. There's too many bells and whistles. A lot of it has nothing to do with bookkeeping. And that causes problems. It causes more confusion. more chances of mistakes. And, you know, when I found Wave Apps, or if Wave Apps found me, I don't know. It was, to be honest with you, the first go around when I found Wave Apps, uh, I wasn't too impressed. It couldn't do what it promised easily. And probably about 9 months ago, I revisited it for some reason. I think I had a client on it or that wanted to go on it. And I was astounded at a couple of the features that were improved. Number one was the way that it imports transactions. Number two, actually, number one was how easy it was to set up. You know, that's one thing. QuickBooks Online, it's not that easy to set up. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm actually going to show you from scratch. You know, I'm putting myself on the line here. I've never done this. I am going to set up a dummy business account from scratch because I want to show you how easy it is. And there's always the risk, because of the way technology is, there's always the risk that it's not going to work. You always, you know, you hit obstacles, stumbling blocks. You know, you have a conflict in your software. A lot of things could happen. So I just want to let everybody know, you know, that I'm putting myself out there tonight. And what I also did tonight, which I'm getting better at, is I'm actually live in When. And if you have any questions, let me see, because there's a trick to this, and Haley Gray taught me. So let's see how good a teacher Haley Gray is, which isn't really fair because she is good. Oh yeah, and there I am. So I'm in the chat. Now I have to end it. Okay. So I'm gonna put, if you're watching me, put a live hashtag live in there wherever you're watching from, because I am streaming from streaming to 4 other places wherever you are right now. I'm streaming to YouTube. I'm streaming to When. I'm streaming to Bedrock Business Builders, which I think my mom is watching from there. So hi, Mom. Mom, you can give me a hashtag live if you're in there. Unfortunately, I won't see it until after the show because I can only be interactive with one group. But you know, again, if you're doing any kind of videos, Facebook Live, you got to check out StreamYard. It's really unbelievable. And what's really strange is I'm seeing myself here and on the Facebook thing. So I'm going to not pay attention to that. I'm going to try. But if you, okay, there we go. So I am interactive. I'm really proud of myself because this was not an easy thing to advance to. You know, Haley is an expert at it. She could be talking to you here and she's over here typing, talking to 5 other different people. I don't know if I'll ever get that far, but you know, the good thing is that if you have a question now, I might be able to answer it in real time. If I can't, and if you ask a question and I can't get to it live, I guarantee I will get to it afterwards. Okay, I make it a point to connect with anybody that has a question, comment, whatever. And that's another thing Haley Gray taught me. So thank you for that, Haley. So let me get, again, you know, just so I don't forget, if you want to connect with me, just go to timewithjoe.com. That's one of the reasons I do this. If something I'm telling you resonates with you, if you have a question, anything about your business, feel free to book a free chat with me. And also, I'm a big fan of the Mastermind, so I have mastermindwithjoedechara.com, which is a free mastermind platform for people that just want to, show up. And, I do it twice a week. We have brainstorming sessions, and they're fun, and I think everybody gets a lot out of them. So go to mastermindwithjoedechara.com. And so now what I'd like to do is actually, live up to my promise, and I'm going to put myself on the line here, and I just have to rearrange my windows a second. So I am this is the landing page for Wave, okay? And what Wave is really is a very bare bones, simple bookkeeping system. But it's actually a little bit more than that, because you can't, it's not limited to just your bookkeeping. You could get paid. You can do your invoicing. You could pay people through this. You can run your payroll through Wave. So they've come a long way from when I first saw them like 3 or 4 years ago. And so let me just show you what I'm promising, which is how easy it is. So let me first see, because I do have a couple of accounts, and we want to log into the right one. So make sure. Yes. Okay. So this is a dummy account that I set up. My regular CPA account, I have all of my clients listed there. So all I did was I registered with a different email address. So all you have to do, if you're over here, and I just want to prove how simple it is. Well, okay. Anyway, just go to waveapps.com, and it'll say, join or log in or create your account. And it's not cooperating now because I already have it open. So today, I created a Bedrock sample company, and I'm not even going to open that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a brand new company. So let's see how this works. First, I'm going to put in Facebook, Live, Emma. And one of the things I'm going to do, because of what's really annoying to me, is I'm going to take away the banners. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Okay, so this is the name of my company. What kind of business is it? And so let's just say I provide a service. Okay, what kind of service? Let's say there's a lot of consultants, okay, and professionals, accountant, communication. Okay, let's say we are a consultant. And now they just want to know your structure. Are you a sole proprietor, partnership, or a corporation? Now, if you're not for profit, you're a corporation. Okay, so they don't. Another thing is Wave is from Canada. So it's a little bit. If you're in the U.S., you might see a little bit of what you would call like odd accounts, and I'll show you what I mean. But it was built to be able to do business in multiple currencies. So if you see here, which is really a great feature. I mean, I'm not doing business with anybody in Tanzania now, but who knows? Somebody might be watching from there, and I'll do their bookkeeping. Now, every business needs bookkeeping. So, all right, so we're going to save this. Okay, and now these are my businesses. So you could have multiple businesses. And did I mention that this is free? I might have skipped over that. But that's one of the big features of this. It's totally free. It's totally free. And it's free in a way where you're not getting all kinds of pop-ups and intrusive ads and you know the stuff that makes the free stuff not worth being free. So you know you can have unlimited companies, you could have your business and your personal account in here because you know you should be doing bookkeeping for your personal account too. You should have an accountant for it. Uh, and this gives you a platform to do it cheaply and easily. So now I have my Facebook Live demo company set up, and now I could put in all of you know the info, and we're going to save that, and we don't want to archive it. What do I have to put in there? So I'm only going to put in here, you know, the stuff that uh, is important for you to set up your bookkeeping. So the first thing that you need to do your accounting is you need to link your bank accounts. And this is one of the most powerful features of Wave apps. So let me show you how easy this is. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to link one of my own uh, business accounts. I have a Business Pro Bookkeepers. I haven't been really using it. I'm just paying some bills out of there. I've been using my new company, Bedrock Business Builders Corp, for the bulk of my transactions. So, you know, what you're going to see here, just, you know, the transactions from a business that's not really doing too much business now. But, that doesn't matter. So, so over here, if you see, it says your bank or credit card. It's not just your bank account, it's your credit cards, and then you can even link your other accounts like PayPal. Okay, so if you have been doing your own books, if you've been putting together spreadsheets at the end of the year, you hate it, and why would you love that? I don't know anybody that actually loves sitting down doing their books, especially if you have to do data entry. Data entry is the killer. That is the absolute killer when it comes to doing bookkeeping. And unfortunately, you can't do any accounting work until there's bookkeeping. And so that's the first conundrum. You know, I talk a lot about why businesses fail. And the bookkeeping, the accounting is a big part of it because people don't like doing this. They put it on the side, they let it accumulate, and after a while, the stuff that you don't know is a problem becomes a problem. Okay, but no more preaching. So let me just show you. I'm promising how easy this is. And so I picked, okay, so I have a couple of different banks. This is the one with my old corporate account. Okay, and this is one of the problems I predicted we would have. But let's see. Okay, looks like we have liftoff. They're gonna text me the code. Okay, here we go. And so now Wave is really tied into like almost all of the banks. and almost all of the credit cards. And if they're not directly tied, and you have the ability to create a QuickBooks or a CSV file from your account, you can easily import it. So let me just go, this is the inactive corp that I have, and I'm going to connect it. So here they say I can import from as far back as possible, or I could bring it in from a specific date. Now, this is powerful, okay, because I don't necessarily want to go back. I mean, I think I did this once and it went back 3 or 4 years. And that's probably a function of the bank as well. But I don't want all of that data. I only want, let's say, let's go back to the beginning of March. Okay. So let's go here. And it's saying view transactions. So something's so up here. So it's already brought in my beginning balance. You see how fast that was? And now it's saying, okay, it's importing the transaction. So we'll come back to that in a couple of seconds. Because what you need is you need your chart of accounts. Okay, because all those transactions have to go somewhere. And this is the structure of the chart of accounts for Wave App. So they got it, categorized like this: assets, liabilities, income, expenses, and equity. So you got 5 different categories of types of accounts that you can add. So you could see right here, it's already set up TD Bank. Okay. Then it has money in transit, which is an account. Now that's if you're billing out of Wave Apps. Okay, so we're not going to cover that tonight. Inventory. So these are the basic accounts that you start out with in Wave. Those are the assets. Then you have your liabilities, income, expenses, and equity. Okay, so let's go to income, and I'm going to show you how, because now I don't want consulting. I want my own types of account. Okay, so I do consulting. I don't really do sales. I'm an accountant. So we're going to change this to tax. Okay, and you have an option of adding a number. Now in Wave Apps, it's really not that important. Also, Wave Apps is not going to be appropriate for every business. If you need sub accounts, if you need to have departments, if you need anything beyond basic, what I do is I go up to QuickBooks Online. But the problem, with QuickBooks Online, there's a subscription. It's a lot more complicated. There's a bigger learning curve. So this is really for solopreneurs. Maybe you have some payroll, okay? But, this is as simple as it gets, folks. Let's go to expenses. So one thing that they never put in is, licenses and permits. Let's say, here, add a new account, operating. So when you add a new account, again, you're going to put it in one of the categories that they have. So for this, we're going to call this licenses. Minutes. And there we go. Now, I don't bother with the description. You can. And so this is your standard chart of accounts that it comes with. Now, when I was talking about some of the odd accounts, you might see, I'll show you, in the income. They don't have it here. So usually they have something called gain or loss on. foreign currency transactions. So maybe they took that out. So that's my chart of accounts. So now let's go back to the transactions, and whoa, there they are. Look at how fast that was. All of those transactions from March 1st have come in, and we only have this one account. So if I could have sucked in the information from all three of my accounts, but they're already in there. Okay. And this is, so if you've ever done bookkeeping, if you ever had to enter transactions into QuickBooks, I hope that you are, amazed at how fast that happened. And this is an inactive company, I thought, but obviously I have a bunch of transactions in here. So now the other part of how powerful that this program has become, because as you can see, nothing has been categorized. Wave isn't going to assume where everything goes. So we have to do a little bit of work here. So if you see over here, one of the most powerful things about QuickBooks is its ability to find transactions, if you're familiar with that. And now Wave Apps is not as powerful as QuickBooks, but for the amount of money that you got to pay for this, it's worth it. And did I mention that it's free? Okay, so right here, so what we want to do is we want to filter these transactions. And again, if you're familiar with QuickBooks, you'll see that you don't have as many options as QuickBooks. But that's okay, because there's little workarounds that I've learned on how to streamline this. Because to be honest with you, I don't want to go through every one of these transactions and have to categorize it. And the same way as QuickBooks works, once there's the AI feature of this. Once I classify this transaction, next time it comes into Wave Apps, it's going to come into the right category. So let me just take a second. I want to go into the Facebook group and see if there's any questions. Okay, so my friend Elizabeth is there. Okay. So Tessa says that she switched to QuickBooks. Well, that's okay. So I'll show you another feature here, Tessa, because I wouldn't let my clients work with this if it couldn't be done virtually. So I'm glad that you brought that up, because this is, QuickBooks QuickBooks Online lets you invite an accountant, and so does Wave Apps, and it's even easier. For some reason, it seems like they took what QuickBooks was doing and just, they said, how can we make this easier? And that's what they did. So we have this PayPal instant transfer, and I probably have it a lot. So this is one of the areas that I want to try to save save time on. So, and this is something that you're not going to find in the instructions. Okay, this is just me, trial and error, and let's see how this works. So there we go. You see all of those transactions that have PayPal instant transfer. Okay, now what this is when I use my PayPal account, what PayPal does is they go into my account and they just say, we're taking this money, and then we'll categorize it out of the PayPal account, if that makes sense. So what this is it's really just like a transfer to another account. In other words, in this instance, I am going to put this money, this transaction, into my PayPal account. And then when I import my PayPal transactions, it's going to tell me what category all of this stuff goes into. That being said, what we want to do is we want to categorize this. The category for PayPal Instant Transfer is, now let me see if I can do this easily and show you. I want to, so what I did was, I'm going to select all, no, okay, we're going to have to go back because I lost it somehow. PayPal Instant Transfer. So there's, okay, so there's 17 of them. Okay, so out of 17, I want to change the category to, now what I'm going to have to do is I may have to set up a new account. Okay, so there's no PayPal account here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out of here. We're going to have to come back, and in the chart of accounts, I am going to set up an exchange account. I'm going to call it PayPal Exchange. And now we come back to this. And we can look PayPal Exchange. And then we want to select them as reviewed. So what happens is, even if it comes in classified, there's another level of accounting here, because it gives the bookkeeper, the accountant, a chance to review everything. So when I do this kind of bulk change, I'm putting in here that it's been reviewed. Okay. So we are going to change those transactions. And now what I'm going to show you. So that's basically how, what I showed you so far in a couple of minutes was how to set up your account, how to connect it to a bank account, how to bring in the transactions, and now I just showed you how to bulk categorize them. I mean, that's one way. So, the other way to categorize stuff here is, this is an international transaction fee. I don't even know what this is. Let's just say, I don't want to have to keep going back. Let's just say this is a bank service charge. And I was just going to say, if there are any other transactions with that description, it's going to automatically bring me here. And so this is where you save a lot of time. So if there's any bookkeepers out there, anybody that has to do their own bookkeeping, and you're doing it like in Excel, or you're manually entering it into QuickBooks, you really want to look at Wave apps. So there's only two other things that I want to show you tonight. And again, if you have any questions on this, you can feel free to reach out to me. I'm not looking to sell you anything. Please don't, book an appointment with me to sell me something, because I won't be happy. I don't like wasting time, but I do like helping people. So you don't have to buy anything from me, but if you have some questions about how to set up Wave, or if you should be using Wave, or if there's any other alternatives, just go to timewithjoe.com. So, I don't want to get into showing you how to enter a transaction. I mean, it's all, it doesn't get simpler than this, folks. It really can't get any simpler. I mean, and I say that, and then I say, maybe you can. Because even reconciling, I have to tell you, I've been doing reconciliations my whole life, and it goes faster. And maybe I'll show you next time how to do a bank rec, because it goes in like 5 seconds, literally, as long as the bank matches what's on the statement, which it has to, because it's sucking all the information right from the bank. So it's very rare that the transactions don't match up. So you're saving time on the data entry and the time it takes to reconcile. And mom, if you are watching here, I mean, think about it. Think of all the time you spent on my clients entering. I don't want to mention the names of the clients, but we had some clients with a lot of transactions, a lot. And if we had Wave apps the way it is now, it would have helped mom a lot. So if you ever want to come back to work, mom, let me know. So, and I love you, and I appreciate all the years of hard work you put in for me. So I wish it was this easy when we started out doing this 15 years ago, but it just wasn't. So the last thing I want to show you here, there's a lot in here, and I'm sure I'll be coming back to show other features of Wave apps. But what's important are the reports. Obviously, it's one thing to enter your numbers, but now you got to be able to see them. And I don't know what's happening, but for some reason, I'm not able to get into the reports part. Second. And this is what I was mentioning, one thing about technology, the guarantee with technology is that something's going to go wrong. And here we go. I don't know if it's timed out. And there we go. And I've been experiencing that sort of problem even with QuickBooks and other programs, and I know a lot of other people have been. And I think it has to do with there's so many people on the internet now, and maybe maybe it's the bandwidth or something. But let me show you. So now we have some transactions in here, right? We have this is the balance sheet. So what we have is the cash in bank, and then we have other assets. So this is a summary view, and then we have the detailed view. And you can see the PayPal exchange is over here. Now, I might have picked, a bad account to show you this, but just to clarify this, what happens is PayPal is actually another account. It's just like having another bank account. It's like having a credit card. PayPal is an account where we consummate business transactions. And anytime you have an account, there has to be an accounting of it. So, you see transactions in your bank account that just say PayPal. There's no way to classify them. You don't know if I bought a book, a lawnmower, or toilet paper. And that's important because when you go to your P&L, everything's got to be classified in the right categories. So what's going to happen with this is now another step is I'm going to link my PayPal account, and I'm going to import the transactions, and it's going to take this 283.96 and it's going to put them into whatever categories they belong on my profit and loss statement. Okay. So, and I could tell you, so this is wrong because I think the only money that's come into this account are transfers from my other account to pay whatever bills I have coming out of here. So you could see, so I would have to reclassify all of these. And let me just quickly show that to you. And so, which will prove again how simple this is. You just go to transactions, okay? And we're going to go to TD Bank, and we're going to go back to filter. And we want to just go to all of the uncategorized income. And you could see all of these are basically, let's just assume they're all transfers. So I got 54 transfers. So imagine how much time that would take if I had to like go into each one of them and categorize them. So now what this actually is it's going, let's just for argument's sake say I loaned the company money and I put money into the company. It got misclassified into uncategorized income, and then mark these as reviewed. Well done. Let's go back to the balance sheet. And now you'll see shareholder loans. That's before that was the number, I believe that was uncategorized income, and now it's in the right category. So everything went smooth. We got lucky. I showed you a lot of stuff that you can do in Wave apps, setting it up. You can import your transactions, link your credit card accounts, and I highly recommend this. It's worth every penny that you're going to pay for it. And it's not the fact that it's free. And let me just do one other thing here, because I did promise to show how to share with your accountant. They have this other thing where they're saying, you're going to have Wave money or something. I don't know what that means. But I think they're going to actually be like their own bank. So all you have to do, Tessa, is come over here and go to invite a guest collaborator. So now you can get, well, I'll show you, you can get an admin. And I usually, because I'm the trusted accountant, I go in here. If you just you don't want somebody to have full access, you just want somebody in the back end to be, a bookkeeper, which gives them limited access, payroll, or just somebody that just wants to view stuff. I don't know why. I mean, that might be, an assistant or somebody that needs some of the information. But all you do is you're going to go in here. So I don't know why, your accountant said that they couldn't get share access, but you definitely can. I do it all the time. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Again, my name is Joe DiChiara. Let me see if I can find my StreamYard again here. And I'm going to stop sharing so you can see me. And that's it for tonight. Again, go to timewithjoe.com, book a free chat with me. Go to Mastermind with Joe DiChiara and join my mastermind group. And that's it. Happy Sunday night. God bless everyone. Good night. Thank you.